you look at the map the Israeli military issued just 6 days ago when Iran launched 180 ballistic missiles in the direction of Israel. That is the latest front in this 7-front war. And the entire country was carpeted with alert signs. Basically, I think the Israelis knew where the Iranians were trying to hit. But what happens in a situation like that is the interceptions themselves become hazardous because ballistic missiles are fired at great height, they're intercepted at great height, and the debris is scattered a great distance. So even if you're out of range of Gaza, or you're out of range of Hezbollah from Lebanon, or you're out of range of, say, Iranian-backed militias in Iraq or Syria, or the Houthis in Yemen, you could still find yourself at the receiving end of debris from a successful interception. So that's the long answer. The short answer is no.
Talk to us about the U.S. and their role. Talk to us about Kamala Harris, former President Trump. What's their stance on Israel?
Well, I'd suggest you pass the statements they put out on this anniversary day. Very strong statements in support of Israel by the president and the vice president. The vice president, Harris, in an interview, did reiterate her call for a ceasefire as soon as possible. That's pretty much a stock position of the Democratic establishment of this administration. The problem is it falls on deaf ears in Israel because Israel has been through several ceasefires, both with Hezbollah, with Hamas, I think at least 5 times with Hamas. And basically each ceasefire has seen reconstruction money, aid money coming in, and Hamas diverting a good deal of it to rebuilding its military capacity. And in the end of the day, Israel points out correctly that these are enemies backed by Iran, all of which are ideologically committed to its destruction, all of which openly say that when conditions allow, they'll resume the war against Israel until achieving that destruction of Israel. So Israel's position now, having undergone really an unprecedented attack on October 7th of last year, a game-changing attack, if you like, Israel is now changing the rules of the game, and it's saying no more ceasefires, we want victory. The question is, what does victory look like? No one has fully articulated that yet.
Dan, how has Netanyahu's popularity shifted? BBC has a nice summary of that, of a the different fractious parties in a parliamentary system. How has Netanyahu's popularity shifted?
His popularity has been in the doldrums for a year now, given this catastrophe, especially given that he is Israel's longest-serving prime minister and long cast himself as Mr. Security, the guy who can foresee threats to Israel and to the Jewish people. So he suffered badly in the polls. However, over the past month, Israel has clearly seized the initiative, specifically in Lebanon, with an audacious series of attacks, some claimed, some unclaimed. I'm sure you're aware of the beeper sabotage, the walkie-talkie sabotage, the cascade of precision strikes to effectively decapitate Hezbollah and degrade its missile capacity. So polls have indicated a lift for him, especially when compared to his likeliest rivals. However, the national religious bloc that he sits astride, and everything in Israel is coalition politics, is still not seen winning an election were one held today. He's not keen on seeing an election anytime soon. The next one is scheduled for 2026. However, his personal approval rates are certainly improving.